sanitizing, and it was hilarious, but it also talks about the fact that this is serious. Now, this piece in the graphic also talks about the fact that there seems to be people are buying more appeal, buying a lot more Teseshi because it's actually cheaper at the moment to buy than sanitizers, considering that it has gone up, and people are using it to clean their hands, clean surfaces, and as Winston was telling us yesterday, a lot more people are also drinking it.
That was off-air conversation. But a lot of the boys these days,
but it's also in the paper.
Yeah, they say they would drink what they normally would call apevi. Apevi to mean apu, and the understanding is that it actually kills the virus. Well, that has been proven not to be true. It actually weakens your immunity, and so if you're thinking of drinking a lot of apevi in Yevutukpa, like they say in white man's bottle, that's a way of saying it. Just desist from that, because it certainly wouldn't help you.
It will actually kill you.
Yeah, I mean, the virus is in your cells. That's where it is. I don't think any amount of apevi will make it into your cells to go and kill coronavirus there. Also, for those who are cleaning surfaces with it, soap is better. Soap is better. All right.
Okay, so we're going into the headlines now. Let me start with the Business and Financial Times. Coronavirus, banks direct customers to digital platforms. Bank of Ghana cautions against panic withdrawals. Bank of Ghana pushes banks to stock ATMs. And I went to ATM yesterday and I'm thinking, how clean is the ATM? Is the coronavirus alive and well on those little pads? But Cal Bank also closes down Legon branch. Harvard University holds inaugural Joseph Sian Ajipon Distinguished Lecture on Public Health in Africa. Unipass deal, a total rip-off coalition of CSOs, and depositors solidified confidence in the banking sector as domestic mobilization hits 99% of total.
So the graphic business for this morning says SEC can't pay investors now. Over 4 billion Ghana cedis claim discrepancy, and COVID-19 portends ill for economy. Experts urge policy rate revised targets, and this is not time for supernormal profits. Economists cautions in the wake of COVID-19 recorded cases. Come to the photograph of sanitizers which are selling, at high prices currently.
Right, I've got the finder, and there's someone seeking the silver lining in the banner headline. The president says COVID-19 to fuel local production to reduce import dependency. The chief imam is telling Muslims to abide by the president's directive on COVID-19. One Ghana movement calls for sanctions against self-quarantine evaders, and 30 people in self-isolation over Obuasi COVID-19 case.
Okay, the Daily Guide, Haji Alima Mahama launches gender equality project. Coronavirus locks us down. Be innovative, says Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Sogakope Assemblyman's killers nabbed. Kwewu Easter has been cancelled. Oh my God, another thing that has been cancelled. Kwewu Easter. Oponi trial, not political. That's according to a judge. And for some Juventus fans, Ronaldo extends his stay until 2024 possibly.
Is it because of self-quarantine? All right, the New Crusading Guide has these. Fight COVID-19 with action, not words. Mahama tells Akufo-Addo. Also, COVID-19 crisis. GUM leader predicts economic hardships. COVID-19 presents Ghana with opportunity to increase manufacturing capacity. That's the president again. Cancel new single window contract. Coalition of CSOs tells government.
And the Ghanaian Times says Christians, Muslims join fight against COVID-19. And let's fight COVID-19 together. President tasked Ghanaians. Coalition of CSOs call for termination of Unipass deal. And finally, COVID-19 outbreak scare in Tema as patient desert hospital for home.
Wow. The Daily Graphic, Mission Hospitals face power disconnection. They owe between 3,000 Ghana cedis and 3 million Ghana cedis. Help contain the spread of COVID-19, Mahama tells former appointees. And yesterday he spoke to The Nation on Facebook, which seems to be his new way of doing things. Good morning. And he basically said that, people should really try and just follow what President Akufo-Addo has said so that we all stay safe. Citizens step up measures against COVID-19 infection and COVID-19 opportunity to self-produce that story as well. on the front page of the Daily Graphic.
I'm going to start the online media as I did yesterday with a quick wrap of what's happening globally when it comes to COVID-19 on the BBC. Jack Ma to donate coronavirus test kits to Africa. Very interesting. When I saw the tweets this morning, very encouraging. Global communication and support there. Idris Elba tests positive for coronavirus. That's also here. Tunisia to close borders and airspace. Sudan declares state of emergency over coronavirus. Now, you can get those details on the BBC.com. Now, Bishops' Conference questions exclusion of nightclubs, shop bars, etc. on the list of banned gatherings. That's on myjoyonline.com. And this is the Ghana Charismatic Bishops Conference, which is described as arbitrary and discriminatory. The government's 4-week ban placed on churches and places of worship while they left nightclubs, etc. The General Secretary, Reverend Kwesi Dare, signed that statement. CityNewsroom.com has coronavirus. We need more laboratory centers. Akando to governments. Governor Mr. Akando is ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. And starfm.com.gh COVID-19 suspend cases involving prisoner movement, judicial service to court. So that's a quick wrap of what's happening online as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Shall we get into the details?
Exactly. Let's get into the details now. And the Ghanaian Times says COVID-19 outbreak scare in Tema as patient deserts hospital for home. So this patient who tested positive on Saturday says, well, I have to self-quarantine at home because the isolation center, the Tema General Hospital, is very warm in there. The bathroom is very small, toilet facilities not the best. And so he spoke to the hospital authority, went home and is self-quarantining himself. And that's led to a lot of scare, within the Tema area for people. Many people fear that, they probably could come into contact with him. But the authorities say they are monitoring him to ensure that, he doesn't come into contact with anybody and self-quarantines as he promised them. So
the whole principle of self-quarantine is that you will not run into the person.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I guess.
That's the concept, right?
Exactly.
Anyway, speaking of self-quarantine, health authorities in the Ashanti region have directed 30 people who have come into contact with the COVID-19 victim in Obuasi to go into self-isolation as part of measures to curtail the spread of the virus. Now, of course, let's not forget, as the Finder is reporting, that this is in regards to the 56-year-old who returned to Ghana from the United Kingdom on the 4th of March and started showing signs of the virus on the 10th of March. Now, his samples were tested at the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research and in Tropical Medicine, KCCR, and he tested positive. So as a result, 30 of the contacts traced to him within the time that he had been in the country have been asked to self-quarantine. Now, the question that arises is, what happens if they don't? Is there a sanction for people who are asked by the state to self-quarantine who decide not to? If they are seen walking around in the town square or in the market, is there a sanction for them? That's something that we need to have the government clarify as soon as possible. In the United Kingdom, there are fines. In fact, you can even end up in jail if you are found to be positive and walking around when you should be in self-quarantine. You could end up being jailed or tried for manslaughter.
It's a good thing we have the Information Minister Kojo Ponkrumah speaking to us today. This is a very important question that I'm sure he would have an answer for. One of those persons who have been put on self-quarantine, of course, not in relation to this one, to this Obuasi case, is a GBT journalist. And that story is on myjoyonline.com. He's under self-quarantine after contact with this top Norwegian official. Now, he says that he was actually contacted by 2 Ghana Health Service officials and he was asked to go on self-quarantine. He had no problems, no qualms doing that. He was speaking to us on the phone there.
And what we intend to do in today's show at some point is also to tell you, if you're listening, how you can self-quarantine effectively. So we'll be telling you what to do, what to stock up on, just how to stay safe and what it really means when you're asked to stay at home so that you're not spreading the disease. But some good news, however, it will take about 12 to 18 months before there's a vaccine available, but tests have started in the United States. Some researchers have given the first shot to people in an experimental COVID-19 vaccine. So they're going to give 2 shots to 45 people a month apart so that we can find out if there is some way of creating immunity. This is happening at the Kaiser Permanente Washington Research Institute in Seattle, and this started yesterday. They have said, as like I said, it will take about 12 to 18 months. However, it is an urgent public health priority. Some of those who have been in the research have spoken about the fact that they're really proud to be taking part in this if they can help find something that will help the world, really, if it's able to get onto the market. We also know that yesterday New York City closed down their schools, restaurants, bars, and other venues. So it looks like they're also really locking down as well. We also know that the UK is also on lockdown because they've reported 55 deaths so far.
You know what, speaking of other countries, this is a very bad month for the world to be on lockdown. It's heading into Easter, and for the first time, the Catholic Church is not going to have a big mass on Easter Sunday morning addressed by the Pope.
Well, talking about the church here in Ghana, Christians and Muslims have all, joined the fight against COVID-19. The chief imam yesterday addressed Muslims and he urged them to respect the recommendations by government on, banning public gatherings. So churches, mosques would have to remain closed for 4 weeks. And the Catholic Bishops' Conference also been supporting the president's call. They believe that following that particular call, it is the best of things to do. They're talking about the need to, probably do things online. You could have some private, few persons gathering, but lots of people can't gather in a, parish now to pray. And I think that's a good one, particularly when the churches agree with the president that is the way to go.
Of course, we've seen the Charismatic Bishops' Conference statements this morning saying that, yes, let's close the churches, but why are we leaving the nightclubs and the chop bars and all of these other places where persons can congregate?
But just before we move away from this one, because the Ghana Medical Association has also been, commenting on this, and they have started by commending the president. They say, well, it's good that the president has come out with these 7 pointers on how we can fight, COVID-19, and the first part talking about banning public gatherings. But they've also urged government to take a few steps. Now, the first step is to, improve on the nation's stock and equitable distribution of personal protective equipment and other essential logistics to all frontline health workers at all levels of service delivery. And they also talk about the fact that, some surgeries that are not very urgent could be postponed so that the intensive care units are not flooded with lots of persons, because there could be the need to have some persons getting in there. And also urging government to ensure that testing is done at all teaching hospitals and regional hospitals. Currently, the testings are done at the Noguchi center as well as in Kumasi. So these are some of the things that the Ghana Medical Association wants government to do,
including the fact that if you're admitted at the hospital, you can only have 2 people visit you.
Sure.
And for Kolibu, for example, if your child is in the hospital, just the parents, and also the fact that all elective surgeries have been cancelled. So definitely getting stricter. The Chief Justice has also released a statement saying that courts will practice strict case management if you are not being tried, if that's the right expression, or if you don't have anything serious to do there, don't turn up. Judges and magistrates have been urged to adjourn cases to specific times on giving dates so that there are not too many people there. And sanitizers are being provided for court users as well. So speaking of sanitizers being produced and being made available.
Absolutely, yeah. In the midst of all the gloom and doom and the urgency and emergency, there is apparently a pot at the end of this viral rainbow. The president believes that this might be the thing that boosts local production. So he met with some leaders of the pharmaceutical industry to brainstorm on instituting homegrown solutions to contain the deadly COVID-19 virus. They had this meeting at Jubilee House yesterday, and the pictures show how nicely and evenly spaced all the attendees were, observing, of course, social distancing. Now, the president bemoaned the phenomenon where Ghanaian economy is overly dependent on foreign-made things across all sectors. And here's a quote from him. He says, "We are not just talking pharmaceuticals, but across the board of our national lives, we are far too dependent on things that are made abroad, I think is the right thing, and are imported by us for use. And I suppose he wants us to start making the most of things that we use in Ghana ourselves. And he says, and I quote, "I am seeing what is happening to us in these crises as an opportunity. It has very big consequences, but it may also be an opportunity too." And well, the reality is that we're importing, over $12 billion worth of goods into this country every year. 2019 figures say over 12 billion. So that is a large amount of money that could end up being replaced if we are able to manufacture a lot of these things locally due to this shutdown from the crisis.
You know what, guys? I want us to step away a bit from this coronavirus situation, because earlier we opened, gave the opportunity to listeners to tell us about their power situation from yesterday, and the text lines are blowing up. Papa tells me people are calling him already, and so let's open the phone lines briefly on this one and tell us yesterday what was your power situation. What was your power situation yesterday?
I can tell you, doom.
Mine too.
Mine too, I must say.
Well, I had so.
You had so.
Because you don't live in Accra. But
you're going to wish you hadn't said that.
Says anymore.
You're going to wish you hadn't said that.
So call us and tell us about your power situation.
0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. I have some updates on what was happening in the production line which caused this. On the 15th of March 2020, the gas situation was resolved, but a grid coal line tripped 4 days ago at the Western Corridor at the Prisia Bogoso area. Now, usually such a thing happens, it triggers other plants to shut down to stabilize the situation, and as a result, some thermal plants and power stations have also tripped. Okay, I'll continue with the updates, but I have my first caller, Papansa Teshinungwa Estate. Papansa, I hear the Teshinungwa area, you didn't have power yesterday.
Commander, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
By God's grace. Please turn off your radio before you continue, okay?
Okay. And how's Enimwa?
She's very well, thank you. Good morning, Papa.
Good morning, Madam. Daniel, since yesterday 12 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. that I got light. Master, I was sweating. The whole family, it's not easy. So electricity should tell us what is happening, because we don't know. Anytime the light go off, it comes on. Why? They should give us an information and alert us that today you people will be in darkness, so that we will prepare.
Papa, we'll get that explanation for you. Thank you very much. Kofi is on the line from Kumasi. Good morning, Kofi.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel. How are you? This is Kofi Bajeneba.
I am blessed, Kofi. Let's hear you. What was your power situation in Kumasi?
Too bad, Daniel. Too bad. Yesterday around 6 p.m., the light went off at Ashtown here, and as we speak, we don't have water running. The water also stopped running yesterday, and as we speak, there's no water in Ashtown. What is going on? We are in serious times, and people should think about Ghanaians.
Kofi, thanks for calling. Ellie is also from Kumasi. Good morning, Ellie. Ellie, Kofi was calling from Ashtown. Which part of Kumasi were you in, and what was the power situation?
Okay,
Ellie, can you hear me?
I'm calling from Achimaboku area. Yeah, as for our place there, it's west, east west. Because they will on it like 2 minutes, put it off like 5 minutes, on it again. So now I've put my fridge off totally. I don't want to on it again because I don't know what to happen. In the night, the room is very hot. How to sleep become? Charlie, it's just west. They should tell us something.
We'll try and get that explanation, Ellie. Thanks for calling. 0302-216-541, 0244-340-437. What was your power situation as of yesterday? We had a long list of areas of Accra where power was not available. Lakeside Estates, Adenta, Kaneshi, Madina, Ashoman, New Legon Community 16, Kumasi, Ohimase, Spintex, East Legon, Dansuman, North Kaneshi, Latebiokoshi, and Kokomlemle. Let me go to Kumewu, where Kwame is standing by. Kwame, is it Kumewu?
No,
Kwamo, thank you. Let's hear you. What was the situation at Kwamo?
For now, we'll say that Daniel is okay. But yesterday, around 6 a.m., the lights went off. And it came on around 6 p.m. But just about 20 minutes, it went off again. We got light around 10 p.m. It's becoming bad for us. Too bad.
Kwame, help me. Where is Kwamo?
Kwamo is close to Ejiso. When you are moving from Kumasi to Ejiso, it's on the Kumasi-Ejiso stretch.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling us from Kwamo. Kwame. My next caller is Reginald. Reginald from Kumasi. Reginald, which part of Kumasi?
Ebusakura, Brema Ebusakura.
Okay, Brema Ebusakura.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's hear you.
It went off, I think, a few minutes to 6 p.m. And then I think around 12 midnight it came back.
So for 6 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. It's really bad, Reginald. Thank you very much. 0302-216-541. We'll come back to take a lot more of your calls, and I see all your messages coming through. Keep them coming. 0244-340-437, or tweet with the hashtag JoySMS. It looks like there's a doomsday bug in the air. The online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. Now, Goyle has released onto the market a higher grade Super XP RON 95 for all consumers. From now on, all Goyle service stations are offering higher grade Super XP RON 95 at no extra cost to our cherished customers. Consumers no longer need to pay more for any higher grade petrol specification, so you save money by buying Goyle's higher grade Super XP. Visit any Goyle station and experience less vibration and less noise from your engines, as well as better fuel economy for your vehicles at the same price. Choosing the right fuel is an important feature in maintaining your vehicle. Choose the right petrol. Choose Goyle. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle. Yenara Yedia. Now everyone can bank with us. Yes, you heard right. Whether you're a trader, businessman, student, corporate executive, a professional, teenager, child, or self-employed, you can have a bank account at Zenith Bank. Open a Zenith account today and enjoy the services of a bank that works in your best interest. For more information on our products and services, visit zenithbank.com.gh. Also, chat with us online via our website or call Zenith Direct on 0302 680-884 0302-680-884. Our customer service representatives are ready to serve you. No matter your banking needs, Zenith Bank has a product tailor-made for you and your loved ones. Talk to us today. Zenith Bank, in your best interests. The BBC News at 7 is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us and Shell Club. Get more. Stay with us.
It's a huge mural